Administration has banned family planning clinics that receive taxpayer funding from referring women for abortions. Critics, including reproductive healthcare NGO Planned Parenthood, say it allows the government to interfere in a patient's care and will hit low-income women the most. To defy this new family planning overhaul, the organisation has appointed a more aggressively pro-abortion activist as its leader. The appointment marks a significant shift in its leadership strategy. Yeah, this comes as several US states, as you may remember, passed so-called heartbeat bills, which prohibit abortion once a fetal heartbeat is detected. Now, some of these abortion bans also include a penalty of up to 10 years in prison for those who perform the procedure. The majority of these laws don't have exceptions for rape or incest. Now, separately, across the Atlantic, last year's referendum on abortion in Ireland sparked debate too. Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg recently admitted his company banned pro-life ads ahead of the vote.
During that election, leading up to that referendum, a bunch of pro-life American groups advertised in this leading up to this Irish election. We went to the Irish and asked folks there, well, how do you want us to handle this? You have no laws. And their response at the time was, we don't currently have a law, so you need to, make whatever decision you want to make. We ended up not allowing the ads.
An admission from Mark Zuckerberg there. Well, legal analyst Jennifer Breeden thinks media giants such as Facebook should not interfere in political issues by manipulating public opinion.
When we look at a conversation like abortion laws, we need to really consider that this is not going to come out of the public narrative, but that companies like Facebook, like Twitter, like others cannot silence the opinions of the pro-life people. It's very wrong. It's harming the economy, and it's really holding the American and the world hostage for only one political opinion. What we should be seeing on Facebook, if we had access to pro-life options or to anti-abortion options, we would see more companies, organizations that are promoting funding for adoption, more things that can prevent the onslaught of abortions rather than just silencing the voices and paving a road for an uptick, for a massive influx of more abortions, rather than actually stopping the problem or engaging families that want a baby and that could have had one.
Well, as the abortion and personal choice debate rages, the birth rate in the US has been on a downward spiral for more than 30 years. There are, of course, a multitude of reasons, economic to environmental. And for an up-close look at this, we have a special report on the child-free movement, where people who can have children choose not to. You can watch it in full online.
This is one of the most important issues, if not the most important issue that humanity needs to be talking about.
It's like you put yeast in a bath of warm water with a little bit of sugar, and they just keep reproducing until they have polluted their environment so much that they die. And it's kind of sad that we don't have any more control over ourselves and our environment than little one-celled yeast organisms.
Everybody, that was generations before us didn't have a choice, and they were pressured into it. It was like you had to grow up, have babies. There was no other option. So I'm going to take full advantage of having a choice.
I think I decided not to have children in my 20s when I realized that life was tough and that suffering in some form is guaranteed to everybody, while happiness is not.
Species extinction, loss of biodiversity, the collapse of ecosystems, all of these things are accelerated by our rapidly growing population.
Cheers.
To
not needing babysitters?
To not needing babysitters, to child-free.
Yes, being child-free.